Hey lovely people, and welcome to the Gamer's Rest. My name is Tal, and in this show, Tal Talks, I get the chance to talk with talented individuals involved in the TTRPG scene. Today's guest is a writer, designer, actual play regular, and soon-to-be charity GM. It's the wonderful JellyFishLines.
Hello, everyone. It's me. I'm small. I'm here. I'm queer. I'm full of existential fear. Please help me.
There you go, folks. Opening taglines. Thank you so much for agreeing to chat with me today. There's a ton of stuff that I do want to kind of talk to you about. But before we kind of get started, do you want to just tell people where they can find you if they haven't met you yet?
You can find me everywhere at jellyfishlines.card, CARRD.co. That links to everything that I am on: social media, actual plays, podcasts that I'm starting to run, which might actually come up now. Uh, and like other design work I've done. Basically everything that you need me to like be on social media wise, I am probably on.
So, I always like to ask this for all of my guests. How did you get started in the industry? What was your kind
Accident.
of... I love that. That's always great.
Okay, so technically speaking, it was like an application that I saw on accident on my tabletop RPG Twitter, which I had made like a month before in 2022. Um, so I made my account in like early March, late February or something in 2022, and then at the end of March, I was at AWP, which is a huge writers conference that
Yeah.
travels the country. Um, and then something like I was at AWP and I saw like an application for Chaotic Wonderful, like, hey, we're making like a new inclusive like tabletop RPG like actual play like channel. And I went like, oh cool, I'm never going to get in. I'm just gonna apply for shits and giggles. And then I got in and I found out in August. And I went like,
I've got to do something with this now. Oh.
I need a mic really quick. I actually did have a mic, which is lucky enough. I just did not know what the heck to do.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it, though, isn't it? Just throw yourself into it and just go, yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
Yeah, just the vibes.
How how
Vibes.
was how was that first experience for you?
Honestly, really great. It was one of my earliest experiences in like a professional tabletop RPG space.
Okay.
Very fun. I loved it.
So, one of the things that so me and you we got to play in a game not that long
Yeah.
ago for charity called Indomitable, which was it was so much fun. We had such a great time. Um, but one of the things that we used was a tool that you'd developed, which was called Rumor Mill. Can you
That
just
I
talk
just
us?
published.
Yes, I've just seen that, so this is great timing. Um, can you just talk people through how that works and how you kind of came up with that idea?
Okay, so Rumor Mill is PBTA bonds, but make them catty. Catty as hell. Love it so much. I love good juicy drama in a tabletop RPG, especially ones with interpersonal parties. Um, how this came about was that I had played a bunch of PBTA and I was also playing a card from Brindlewood game public access at the and I was like, why don't we take the PBTA bond questions in the card from Brindlewood, like character led plot and player led plot, put them in a blender and turn on. Um, and that's essentially how Rumor Mill came about. And I have the outline of Rumor Mill right here. One second.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, the general formula is three unique physical traits that are defining or obvious, alongside the PC's general physical description, two easily gleaned personality traits or facts about them other PCs would know from the about the focal player character during Rumor Mill. 1 to 3 system setting specific questions. Apologies, I cannot speak this morning. Um, for example, if you're playing Apocalypse Keys, some questions can be: you have been assigned an agent to you in your case. What is their name? What do you tell others who ask about your agent who was assigned to you, like the why behind it? And what is your relationship to your assigned agent? And then one rumor made up by the player about their character.
Love that.
And then we round robin the table, each other like player making up a rumor about that. PC as the focal point at that time. So essentially, if there are 5 people at the table, 5 players, there are going to be 5 rumors about a single PC at any given moment.
How do you? Because for me, when we did that for our characters, I felt like it completely changed the dynamic from 4 people coming together to do a show, and changed it into a group that kind of knew each other a little bit better, even though we really didn't, and we hadn't really kind of worked that out. How have people kind of reacted when you've implemented that into games?
They have loved it, like backflips, and I'm just like, oh heck yeah, I love that for myself and also for them.
Definitely.
Rumor mill is free. Rumor mill is a free thing, and I really enjoy being able to like give that to people and have people enjoy it and being able to use it and tweak it to their own games. And essentially, I like rumor mill because it gives a type of group cohesion, even if characters are very different. Because like there's a difference, very much a role play difference between 4 characters coming together and 4 characters who know something about each other who come together.
Yeah, and I think
even if it's no,
yeah, and I think you're right. I think it what it does is it opens up kind of like I guess some dialogue and some thought processes for people that haven't perhaps worked together before, or perfect for charity streaming, where you're getting new people in, and it's almost like a little bit of an icebreaker as well, because you have to do a little bit of thinking but interacting with people before you actually start the game. What we'll do is I'll make sure there's links in the show notes below in the YouTube channel so that people can go, and I do recommend you go and download it, because I think you'll find it a really useful tool, great for your session zeros, if you want your players to start thinking more about how they're interacting with each other, and then it doesn't quite feel like a fish out of water if you're just starting with them. So
especially
sorry.
new role players.
Yeah,
New role players. The meet in a tavern thing just does not work for me, which is just like, I understand if it works for other people. I'm a nightmare. If I don't write down my backstory, it's never going to get written. It's vibes based. So rumor mill actually keeps track of like backstory things as well, where it's just like, if somebody comes up with a rumor, why would that rumor be brought up? Why would that rumor come about? And then you can implement that into like a backstory.
Because especially as you said, for new people, not everybody's necessarily comfortable with that, I guess, character development arc, or they're just learning it. So it's a great kind of framework to kind of think about and start to structure your own character around as well. So I think it just works really well from that kind of perspective.
Absolutely.
What's the craziest rumor that you've come up against when you've implemented this? The one that's been the most, where you've gone
off the rails.
Wow. Yeah.
One of my friends in a home game. Oh God, at my friend C. I love you. You are like, I don't remember who came up with this. I don't, and that's when it works the best. Is that nobody knows like who came up with the rumors at one point or another. Like as soon as they start bleeding, it's like, oh, this is a coherent like idea. And I think when we were playing Blade Runner, it was session 0, and we went like we ran rumor mill, and one of them said replicant snuff films, where they're just like, what? I went like, wait, we went off the rails here.
Oh wow!
I love it so much so that is an actual rumor in the game.
But that's it, isn't it? I guess from a GM's point of view as well, it opens up all kind of storyline arcs, and and I mean, for me personally, I like when people write backstories, but when they're really detailed, it can be a little bit difficult to kind of
work.
Yeah. Whereas a few lines, suddenly it opens it all up to some really interesting twists and turns and things you would never have thought of yourself. And I guess when people are implementing it, how do they feel when they do that? Do you get the sense they feel like they're a bigger part of the story when they're doing that kind of thing?
From every single game that I have run using Rumor Mill, yes. That is just my players. I don't know this from any other table. I have gotten like reviews from people on my itch page, which is wonderful. Yeah. I have not gotten an in-depth like review yet, and I would love to see one.
Well, there you go, folks. I mean, so download it, use it, and give feedback. It's what we all crave. Please. Trust me, we all need it. Not necessarily my videos, of course, because, I don't know if my ego can take it, but everyone else does crave feedback.
I love feedback. I'm that type of person.
You can't do better if you don't know what does and doesn't work. I think we all know that.
Also, there will be an updated version of Rumor Mill because it's getting layout done. It's just getting layout done. That's it.
Nice.
At Vinvox, thank you.
See, that's when that happens. When you kind of move into those kind of realms, how does that make you feel? Where things kind of go from I've created this thing, and then suddenly it's being revamped and modelled, and how does that make you feel personally?
I cooked here, essentially, which is hilarious to think about, because it's just like I actually published Rumor Mill not only for like I wanted this because like one of my players said it's really good and it should be published. Okay. But when my partner passed away, I said, screw it. I'm putting this out into the world. God knows it's going to make money or not. God knows if people are going to like it or not. It's getting published.
You took that kind of step as to go, let's get this done. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I finished Rumor Mill in like 2 days after like mourning for about 3 weeks. And then I got like a blast of genius and I went like, I'm finishing this and I'm publishing this. And then I cooked again and I made a like little like summer camp like idea for Monster Hearts 2.
Yes. Which is also on the itch page as well. So yeah, I'd recommend also go.
That one is paid. Apologies.
Should never apologize for doing paid work. Absolutely not. It's we're all here to have fun, create amazing things, but got to make a living as well. Nothing wrong with that.
That's true.
At all. Nothing wrong with that at all. When you did your first actual play, we'll kind of move back to that. What was it like kind of stepping into that environment with your first character?
I actually don't remember. It's very weird. Because like I still have art of this character. Oh. I still have art somewhere around the house in my sketchbooks. I don't know where. But I love playing with people. And I played with Nerd on Wheels. I played with Mary who was Nerd on Wheels online, and she's amazing. And it was a hilarious, like just a hilarious game. It was hilarious. I think there was a scene where my character tried to like drink alcohol in one go, and he couldn't. And I'm just like, damn, baby's first beer.
Yep.
Hilarious.
Did you when you came off the back of that, did that then make you go, okay, this is it now? This is I've got to be doing this. This is what I've got to be doing.
That was actually when it was more of a hobby thing.
Yeah.
I thought like because I was in the middle of college. I was in the middle of like alma mater. I can say this now because I'm not going to get doxxed anymore. I went to Kent State University in the United States. And it was a very weird time to be like in Kent because it was the beginning of like the end of lockdowns and mask mandates. Please bring them back. Please, COVID cases are rising again. Please start masking again. Please. But it was just like, okay, I'm in college. It's fine. I need to focus. I need to keep up that 4.0, which I failed at doing. I was so done. I was so done by like my third semester of college completely. I was done. I'm like, I cannot keep up a 4.0. I'm so over it. And I went from essentially like, this is just a hobby to this is something I can do around 2023.
Yeah.
And that was when I went to Big Bad Con, when I recognized, oh, I can do this. Oh, this is a job. And I went like, oh, cool. I need employed. I need money.
Yeah,
And I think
absolutely.
that's like the shift of that happened in my
Yeah.
brain, where it's just like, this is an actual thing that people do, that people are willing to pay for, that people are willing to work and pay you money for. Maybe I should.
Did that change your kind of I guess style? So the difference between doing something where it's kind of friends and you kind of get together as opposed to you're on show. Did that change how you created your characters or how you kind of came at the situations?
I think I understood the assignment very early.
Mm.
Um, because like it was like first couple of sessions I understood like where things were standing
Yeah.
in like the tabletop RPG like world. And like it was very odd because like I came from a home game and then went from like March that ended and then went into it in August into streaming. And it was very odd to like look at the dichotomy between like those two characters. Because like looking at it from one angle, it's like I make me in hats all the time. Um which is hilarious to think about. But also it's like you you're me in a hat for a bunch of people you know is not the me in a hat that you're going to be presenting in front of like a live audience,
Yeah.
and or even a podcast that is pre-recorded. You will not be presenting the same me in a hat. um Also looking at it like in a sense in a sense I have been performing since I was in 5th grade. I was in choir, did not like choir. I was always a theater kid, but never could get into theater. I don't know how or why. I also was an art kid, taught myself how to draw. So most of my performance has been on a stage.
Yeah.
So I'm used to having eyes on me.
Yeah.
I always get anxiety when I look at the Twitch chat. Uh, I hate
Yeah.
it. I hate looking at Twitch chat.
Instant feedback.
Oh man,
Oh.
don't like that.
Yeah.
But essentially, like looking at it from like a performance perspective is very good
Mm.
because like I have it from like stage show perspective. Essentially, what we're doing in the tabletop RPG space is community theater. It is a form of community theater. And there's some really great professional theater people in the space, which I am like, I love the people at Critical Role. I've never watched Critical Role. I just know that they are the professional actors.
Mm.
They are the big shots. We are we are the small fish in a small pond. And the question is, what is it like to be a big fish in a small pond?
Mm.
And that is where trouble lies. Is that you have all eyes on you all the time. I like being a small fish. I like doing that. And
Yeah,
it's odd, you know?
it is. Yeah, absolutely. I know what you mean. It's still a. I there's kind of this thought process that it's an oversaturated industry now. You've got so many people doing so many podcasts and shows and those kind of things, but it's not a well-known industry in terms of
Ah,
you can recognize people in the kind of like you said the smaller streamers and smaller actual players. You'll see some people that kind of go around and start to become a bit more well known. But I think you're right. I think a lot of us are the small fish, but we get a lot of enjoyment out of it, and it's
mhm.
great to do. Um, I don't know how easy it is for the us to become big fish in the way things are kind of
It's
currently set up.
it's luck and virality at this point.
Yeah,
It's luck and virality. Like who goes viral, what goes viral, and at what time. if you go viral and it's just a bad time,
Yeah.
you get nothing.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, I was talking about this with a friend earlier on, and we were kind of saying about being content creators, and that a large part of it is marketing now, and in
Yeah.
terms of how you get yourself out there, and you could be the best undiscovered talent, but unless you put X amount of your time into showing people what you can do, and large swathes of people, it is a challenging industry to be in, definitely.
Mm-hmm. It's why I don't use TikTok, because all I use my TikTok for is making silly ass jokes. And I'm like, please don't look at my TikTok. Do not look at my TikTok. It's hilarious.
It's really
I
good.
have,
However,
I'm funny. Caveat. I said the words 5D chess with a cervix on one of those, and I'm just like, oh god, I need to like delete that at some point, but also I don't want to delete it because it's my most popular. Oh god, brought to you by Asterion Baldur's Gate. I don't
I
even like that guy.
oh no, no, I
I haven't
agree.
even played the game.
Oh no, he's an idiot.
He's horrible.
Yeah.
He's horrible.
What do you think? What's been the biggest challenge that you've kind of faced when getting into the industry and doing work in the industry? What are the types of things that you've come up against?
Not a lot, but I still. It's because I never actually say the thing, because like this is a big like reveal, I guess, but like I'm kind of open about it online. I have schizoaffective disorder. I am scared and frightened to actively say it in application.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, people have this pre-existing like notions of like what schizoaffective disorder, schizophrenia spectrum disorders are and what they look like and how people behave with them. And it's like people know like autism. You met one autistic person if you've met somebody who's autistic. You know that. There's still ableism around it, but
Yeah.
you know this. ADHD, that's perfectly fine. Physical disabilities, visible disability, invisible disability. You see them, you're fine. You see, like, mad disability are something that people are like, the same with personality disorders. I don't have one, but I have friends who do. It's very similar types of ableism. Not one to one, but they intersect at certain points.
I think you're right. I think
So
there is. Sorry, go on.
It's very strange. Sorry, apologies.
No, don't need to apologise at all. I think you're right. I think there are still certain things we have our old conceptions about, and I think, as you said, those types of things definitely fall into that category. And I guess if you are going into these situations where you're going to be performing and you have to kind of talk about it and let people know about it, that's, I would guess, challenging to yourself sometimes to kind of break through that worry.
I'm As somebody who is schizoaffective, like I understand that like the space is much wider than what it used to be.
Yeah.
And it's not as bad as like it used to have a white people problem, where I say this as a white person. When every face at the table is white, you got a problem.
Absolutely.
And it's also looking at like that has started to change for the better. And it's also like looking at disabilities at the table. Like there's preconceived notions of what disability looks like at a table.
Yeah.
And like you can play a character and like have notions be changed. But I think it's also looking at like madness and also like psychosis in tabletop RPGs as mechanics. Which is just like, oh, I see how people believe it to be, and believe how I act. I am not safe here.
Yeah.
Which is, I caveat, I like Call of Cthulhu, which is what I'm mentioning. I like Call of Cthulhu. It was my first tabletop RPG that got me into tabletop RPG. I completely kind of ignore the rules or like anything that's like an outline for madness in like that tabletop RPG
Yeah.
because I have the condition
Mm.
that they're talking about. I have hallucinations if I'm not on my meds. I have delusions if I'm not on my meds. I have like some severe phobias. I have some pretty severe like I I I use this term very loosely as it is in the book. It's like mania, where it's more like a special interest or an obsession.
Yeah.
Um, where it's just like, oh, cool, I have those. But essentially, looking at like madness and like certain tabletop RPGs, it's like there needs to be more like active like seeking out a sensitivity readers for people who are mad or plan on having like
Absolutely.
any type of like delusional or like psychotic disorder in their tabletop RPG.
Mm. Yeah. 100%. I think it's one of the barriers we still need to break down. Uh, there's still a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of work we've got to do across all the things that are out there. And you're right. We're definitely moving in the right direction. But we need to do more, and it needs to be bigger, and it needs to be more encompassing. And I think a
We
prime
have a
example
golf
is that.
club, we need a bat.
Yes, absolutely. I think one of the prime examples is professional people still pushing back on things like session zero and like the red card, green card, or any kind of safety tools.
See,
Still
I don't like
worrying.
that.
Safety
Sorry, go
tools.
on.
No, safety tools are, I think, a great kind of thing to be
They
discussing.
are.
And I still worry
They
when I see
are.
professionals not wanting to or saying I don't need to because I know my group. And it's a really worrying conversation to not have that talk. I think if you're doing a home game and you've got friends, but do whatever you want. It's entirely up to you. The moment you step into a professional setting, or the moment you kind of like, you're bringing people together for a production of some sort, it's a red flag not to be discussing those kind of things, and I don't get the
Yeah,
pushback on it.
yeah, it's God, it's shocking. It's still like, wait, you aren't doing this? You're playing with strangers that you don't know their boundaries,
Yeah,
and you're
absolutely.
not asking them what their boundaries are.
Mm, yeah,
Oh God, the headache.
no, I agree, and I you know, it's I think it's something that there are some great examples out there, and again, I think I'll probably put some links in as well. So if you haven't come across kind of safety tools before, and you're thinking of getting into actual play, DMing, any of those kind of things, I would highly recommend it. It's worth looking up, not just because it's the right thing to do, but because it will make things better for you. I personally think.
X card is the bare minimum. That is the bare
Yeah,
minimum.
absolutely, 100%, 100%. Do you think, changing subject, go completely on tack again?
Go ahead.
Do you think that after you started to publish stuff, do you think that changed how you approach your characters for actual play? Did kind of becoming I guess a content creator of written work change your perspective on things?
I think in a weird way, it has and it hasn't. Where it's just like I think about like optics a bit more. I think about like optics of things. Like, would this look good? Not even in a sense of like, is this good in a written sense, but is this good in a sense of this is the world we're living in now? It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Why don't we make it a little less fucked up? So it's essentially looking at optics. Like, what is the time period? When is this being written? Do I need like a caveat, like note at the very top?
Mm. Yeah.
And like I write and publish poetry.
Okay.
I I've had work published under C minor. That is my little card site for that one, CARRD. It's C minor at card.co. Um, which is hilarious. That I also do poetry. I've had like 2 or 3 poems published in like 4 years,
That's cool.
which is hilarious. But I essentially look at it like written work for like creative work, but it's not the same. It's more like technical writing on the tabletop RPG side,
Yeah.
but it's also both.
Yeah.
It's a weird space to live in.
Definitely. I agree with that. 100%.
Um, it's a very weird space to live in, especially between technical and creative writing.
Yeah.
It's like you have like literally playing pretend, but you have to like have guardrails on the play pretend in order to get what you want done. It's it's like a freeway. Like, yeah, you can go in the grass, but that's really dangerous. That's why the guardrails are
there's
there.
a road for a reason.
Exactly. And some cars can go off road. Is it wise sometimes? No.
And we'll all drive past looking at the car and going, oh dear. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I did find that. I found that I guess I gained a great awareness of things as I started to write and then create characters, and definitely, and I think when we played together, I found it really interesting because I could definitely in your performance. So when we were, because we played as cowboys, which is
Yeah.
it was great fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But I think in kind of the mechanics you'd written for the rumor bill, and then how you came across in the actual play, I could see both of you in them, if you like. I knew that it was you that had written the rumor mill side of it from the way you were performing as your character, and I was just curious if that was, there was a link there between how you write things and how you then approach your kind of
absolutely.
play. Yeah.
Absolutely, I do. Whereas, like, if I'm looking at like a character and like I have like something that like is interesting that comes up with like in rumor mill, I'm and like I want that to like be a part of the character. I'm going to lean into that a little bit.
Mm.
I'm going to lean into it, and it's very great. I love doing it when I lean into rumor mill, where it's just like, oh yeah, something really bad happened, but also I'm a jokester, but I'm going to imply things.
What would you say is, if we've got people that are kind of looking to get into actual play, what's the best piece of advice you would give them in terms of what you've learnt from your time doing it?
Be patient. Please don't email people back. That's just a general thing. If you don't get accepted, do not send an angry email back. Never do that. It's bad. This is not experience. This is from secondhand learning about things that happened. 3, it is generally be a good person. Like, don't be an asshole is like the golden rule.
Yeah, it really is.
But also generally surround yourself with people that support you. Surround yourself with people that love you. Find people who you can be with and play with and have a great time with on and off screen. People that you want to be friends with, but in like a like if you're gonna like go into Twitter DMs and go like, hey, I want to play with you, do you have anything open? Like ask like via like open replies, or ask via DMs if DMs are open, but be polite about it. Again, don't be an asshole, and don't be rude when they say no, when and if.
Absolutely, yeah. I think you're right. I think a lot of it's just common courtesy, and as you said, not being an asshole gets you so far in this industry. It really does.
It gets you so far in life.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, you're not wrong. I think what people forget is that it is a close community, and we all work together, and we all want to work with each other. And if you're an arsehole, it just doesn't
Whisper
work.
networks exist.
Yeah.
Whisper networks exist, and we will find out.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be running your first charity stream.
Not the stream itself, but a
No,
game.
no, but the game. Yes, sorry. You're going to be
Yes.
you're going to be DMing the first game. What game have you chosen? And have you got all your players signed up for it,
No,
or are you looking for more players?
I'm looking for one more player. I'm actually looking for
Excellent.
one more player on Twitter.
Fantastic.
On Twitter right now, but the game is like August 3rd. So I'm
It's
cutting it
not.
really close.
Yeah. Me too.
It's like August 3rd or August 4th. I think it's August 3rd because it's a Saturday. I'm cutting it real close, man. I'm like nervous, but I might have a couple people that might be interested. It might actually, because I have one more seat left and it's great. And I'm like, yay. But I picked Eyes on the Prize by Ira Prince. And I'm just like, I read it and I went like, oh, this is good. And Eyes on the Prize is a romance-based tabletop RPG. Okay, let me lay it out for you.
Yeah.
Imagine the fake dating, fake marriage AUs on AO3 fanfics that are good. Now imagine you have your tabletop florbos in there with a friend, and it's like, then you play it, and they might end up actually married in the end. Because like, oh my god, it's great. It's a game. Like essentially there is a scheme and you are troublemakers trying to get ahead and get your scheme done by this fake marriage. For some reason, I love like AU plots like this. I love batshit insane plots. But essentially, there are 3 things in game that you have to keep track of, which is affection, plot, and suspicion. Any one of these reach 10, you have to roll. And the difference is actually like how you like succeed at the game. Because suspicion means that people are onto the ruse. Plot means that you're getting your shit done. And affection means, I caught feelings. It's hilarious, and I love it. It's literally like designed for like my AO3 like brainworm infected like mind. I read way too many fanfics when I was like 12 years old.
I was going to say, it sounds like it's kind of shaped the kind of things that you love doing now.
Yeah.
It does sound amazing. And that's going to be, again, I'll put the links in for the show notes. But essentially, it's involved with raising money for the
Raising money for Palestinian aid and
Palestine.
relief.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And there is also going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, chat commands where you can donate directly to GoFundMes.
Yeah.
So not only can you donate to the charity, you can donate directly to people.
And there's going to be a whole weekend of games, so do look out for that. And especially, yes, I was going to say, especially you should be tuning in to see what I suspect is going to be absolute chaos.
Oh, 100%.
It's going to be brilliant, but it is going to be absolute chaos. I can't wait. I think it's going to be great. I really do.
I am facilitating a usually GM-less game. I'm literally just playing every catty courtier in the game.
How are you preparing for it? How are you kind of getting yourself ready? Because first time doing this, it's a big deal, isn't it?
I'm like mentally preparing myself by like rereading the game over and over again, but also going like I will literally let my players decide what they want, and then I will just go batshit insane during the game. Because it's a card prompt based game. You draw prompts, you role play out like what happens because of the card prompts, and then like you collect tokens or like move them around. And there's never any negative stats in the game. Can't have negative suspicion, negative affection, or negative plot. Those just get moved to another like stat.
It does sound like it's going to be great. It really does. So one of the things that I do like to ask everyone, and it's kind of the big question: how do you deal with social media? Because yeah.
You've seen me online.
I have, yes.
Chronically online. I am so online. I am lost in the sauce. I am in the trenches. I am in hell. I am up all hours of the night retweeting shit on Twitter when I can't sleep.
Twitter
it's
is
horrible.
It is perfect for that, though. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, yeah. Reply,
what's
retweet.
the news? Did Biden dropped out?
Yes,
okay, cool.
Right, carry on. How does it impact on you? Because
I block people liberally.
Yeah.
I love the block button. Block button is my bestie.
I think it does so many great things, but
there's only so much it can do.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And it's not always. Sometimes taking a break from it and walking away is a very healthy thing to do. Yeah, definitely.
Please, I'm trying to take the drip feed of Twitter out of my arm, but I can't. I can't yet. Too many of my friends are still there. I do have a Blue Sky though, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I love Blue Sky. It's so chill. There's no crypto ads or gambling ads at all, and I love it.
It's a nice change of pace. Yeah.
Drawback: there's no Chiton. There's no Chiton, and I'm just I love you, Chiton. I love that little Japanese mascot.
What does the kind of future hold for you then? What have you? So you've got obviously the big game coming up. What's coming down the line for you in terms of stuff going
on? If we're talking stuff going on, I don't know yet. Because I have 2 podcasts that I'm starting to work on. We're heading into pre-production. However, caveat. My partner, King Dapper Wombat, I am so sorry if you are learning this right now. Passed away April 30th. The more I talk about what was planned, the worse people are are you okay? And I'm totally. I twitch. And I don't know what the future holds right now in terms of things down the line, because I don't know where I'm going to move to in the next months.
Yeah.
Because in the event of a Trump presidency, I need some ways to get the fuck out very fast.
Yep.
As a queer person on testosterone, I need to get out of here if that happens. I need to go at least to Canada. At least get some asylum there.
Yeah.
Which is so sad that I am talking about asylum.
I mean, but it's unfortunately it is something that you've got to start thinking about.
Think about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just oh dear God, it's something that we shouldn't have to think about, but yet we do. And honestly, I'm in a point of my life where it's just you know what? I'm not dying because I'm not getting my testosterone. I'm gonna yeet myself across the border somehow.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
If I have to, I will.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that. I mean, hopefully wiser
Fingers
heads will
crossed.
prevail.
Yep.
And actually that kind of thing won't happen, and then things can settle down for you, and you can get back to making amazing content, because the stuff, I mean, I had so much fun doing the actual play with you. I laughed.
I did too.
Yeah, it was brilliant fun. It really was. I got the chance to be a grumpy cowboy, which
yeah.
that's perfect for me. And the stuff you've written as well is really good, and I think it just brings so much, in such an easy way, so much flavour to games that, again, I'd recommend you go out there and pick it up, because I guarantee it'll make things more interesting, especially if you've got brand new people coming together and playing for the first time. So please do go out there and kind of pick it up. And yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I can't wait to see what you come up with next. and especially kind
Thank
of the
you so
podcast
much.
stuff. No, you know, genuinely, you've got an incredible talent, and I think we're all looking forward to seeing more of you coming up, and especially the DM you're going to be doing for the Palestinian stream that's going to be going on in the next couple of weeks.
Yep. I'm usually a horror. I'm a horror boy. I love horror. I GM horror a lot. This is gonna be a experience, considering that my first session of like playback static, which is an AP of public access by the Gauntlet and Jason Cordova. Um, I'm pretty sure I made my players almost pee themselves the first session. Of like pilot episode, I'm like 90% sure they almost pissed themselves.
That's great. Oh, I think
I need to play horror with more people in the APC.
Definitely. I mean, it's there is something genuinely exciting about eliciting genuine responses from people where you kind of go, "Oh, that really hit home, didn't it?"
I just remembered things I have in August.
Oh, excellent! Yeah, go for it, please.
Okay, I forgot about this.
No, you carry on.
I'm actually going to be playing Trophy Gold with the creator of the game, Jason Cordova. Okay. That's going to be Fridays in August, noon to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And then at 8 p.m. Fridays, I don't know when it's going to end, so that's great. 8 p.m. Fridays in August for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I am playing a Call of Cthulhu game with, I believe, I can never remember what the channel is, but I will tell you and I will announce it on Twitter. It's great. I love Call of Cthulhu. Again, I love that game. I love playing freaky little guys.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with that at all. Thank you so much for chatting to me today. It's been an absolute pleasure to catch up with you again, and you know, just get a chance to sit down and talk about what you've been working on. And I really do wish you all the best luck with everything that's coming up. And as I said, all the details of where you can find everything that's going on will be in the chat in the YouTube notes, because that's where I put these things.
Chat.
Not the chat, because we're not live.
Chat, is this real?
No,
chat,
it's not.
Is this actually happening?
No. I'm tired. It's been a long day.
Look, I'm tired too. It's like not even 11.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've just started, yeah.
I woke up at 5 a.m. and have not been back to sleep yet because of my cat. I love him. I love you. I love Smooch so much, but he's so stupid.
Yeah, I'm surprised. My dogs have been quite quiet. I'm quite, generally they are very noisy, but they've been really good today. So just before we kind of sign off, do you want to just remind everyone where they can find you? Yeah, I will. We'll kind of finish up from there.
You can find me almost everywhere online at JellyFishLines. You can also go straight to jellyfishlines.carrd.co. Hit the enter button. That should bring up my card site in the search bar, and it's wonderful. It's very green. I apologize to people who are red-green colorblind. There is blue. There is blue on the site that you can see. I really hope that y'all enjoy it. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope that you all are kind to one another.
Thank you so much for taking the time to chat today. It's been amazing, as always. So that's everything for today, folks. Don't forget, you can always like and subscribe. You can follow myself across the social media as well under the Gamers Rest. And please do make sure you're looking after yourselves and those that can't. And do come back again and join us, where once more I'll be talking to people in the TTRPG industry and finding out more about what they're up to. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.